Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and as I said, I'm honored to be having with me over the program for tonight Engineer Mostafa and Nagary. Of course, we were speaking about the global economy before the report that is a bit unstable, and Egypt should be reacting to what is happening, because we have seen in 2019, 2020 the COVID-19 pandemic, then the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, and then the Israeli aggression against the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, and the Israeli-Iranian war. So the whole landscape is affecting the global economy, not just the African economy, but in another step, it will be affecting the Egyptian economy. How did you see the response of Egypt economically to those challenges?
As we mentioned, that starting from the beginning of 2025, the CBE have started to cut down the interest rate. And as we all know, that the interest rate is a tool in the hand of the central bank or any central bank to try to control the inflation. So I think that the global economy have been trying to restructure itself, starting from also the time that President Trump took the responsibility. It was another blow, if you can say, yes, in the global economy. So I think that when you just look for Egypt as a centralized country, very close to the markets, with a stable movement towards rational monetary policies to try to stabilize the economy, and you can see that the exports are increasing, and a lot of actions have been taken really to try, which have helped a lot of manufacturers and exporters and also traders. We don't have to forget that the Central Bank of Egypt have afforded all the needs of the importers of the strategic commodities or the byproducts or for the industry as well, or the medicine or whatever. So we realize that the result of these actions have caused a sort of control on pricing, and accordingly the inflation have went down smoothly. Mm-hmm. So this is something which I believe it is not happening in many countries at the time being. Mm-hmm. But we are, as I mentioned, we are not on a good level. We yes. are trying by the end of the year to reach between 15 to 20% inflation, and I think we will get it, because we have seen that according to the last meeting of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi with His Excellency Prime Minister Mostafa, with the Minister of Food Supply, Internal Trade, and we have seen that there is big stocks of commodities at the time being in Egypt. I can tell you something yes. More, Ahmed, that the traders, when they feel there is a stability in the exchange rate, they always go for long time trade agreements, which they can get a better pricing, better payment conditions, because now we are not afraid about the currency. Yeah, and we have seen that in several fields. Even the normal people are talking now that the prices of the cars have went down because it was evaluated on a value of the dollar which it never reached. And now there's a lot of production everywhere. As we say, that the reaction caused by President Trump affecting some countries in the cars, and now they are restructuring their map of the trade, and they are sending many cars to different destinations, so the prices are going down and down. Also in the construction sector, we see that now there is better offers from the developers. They are offering payment conditions, maturity for 10 years or 12 years, or maybe we heard some are offering 14 years. which we haven't heard before in Egypt. So I think that, and this is the normal way. It is not a shock in our market, but everywhere you can go and buy a property and pay on 30 years and 25 years. So now we are going on the proper road or the proper direction, and I believe that this is the normal and healthy environment for anyone who want to manufacture or trade or export or whatever.
We are usually speaking about the investors, the potential investors coming from outside of the country to be pumping more investments, to be getting his return on investments. But what about the Egyptian citizen? How can the Egyptian citizens feel the effects of those decisions on their daily lives? When can they feel those decisions?
We have been always saying that if the foreign investor will not see that the local investor in his country is happy, he will never come. Because in general, the local investor is well protected in a way or another. He can move, he understands how to move with the laws and so on. So I think that we cannot tell about that, because there is a lot of financial initiatives which you have been talking about, which is giving a big support. There is a export subsidy, if we can say. There is a lot of new tax rules and decrees which have facilitated the relation between the manufacturers or the traders with the state itself. There is, you know, it's a big jump. When we started, Egypt started digitalization in the system of the government, so everything was automatically moving smoothly. Of course, we have some obstacles in the first 2 or 3 years, but now it is getting more and more easy. So everybody can export or import. You can monitor your commodity. You can have a sort of fixed pricing. Sometimes we are claiming for some, you know, sudden decrease, but as we mentioned, that the doors are always open between the ministers and the investors, and we have seen that even on the TV. They sit and have an open and live meetings, and they discuss easily, because I think there is a mutual desire between all the parties in the country, and we believe that we can do much better. We believe in that.
Yes, Engineer Mostafa Nagary, the Vice Chairman of the Egyptian Exporters Association and the Economic and Development Expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on
Thank you, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Anytime, the pleasure is all mine. And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.